Hey Taurus, this is Tara and welcome to your June 15th through July 15th Psychic Tarot forecast. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you're having a wonderful summer so far, or winter if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. I'm going to pull two cards for the last 2 weeks of June, which would be June 15th through the 30th, and then two cards for the first 2 weeks of July. And as you know, Mars is going retrograde June 26th through August 28th. So, try not to push too hard. Mars is a masculine planet. It has testosterone. It's what drives us. It represents the sign of, the sign of Aries. And so when it's in retrograde or hanging out, taking lunch for 2 weeks, or 2 months, then it's a good time for us to, continue, go with the plans we have. Don't make super huge plans during the summer. Just really go with it, because September you're going to see things moving quicker, faster, easier. And that goes also for sexual relationships. If you meet someone and you're like, they're, it's kind of nice, or whatever the case may be, you really like this person, it may not turn out to be the relationship when September comes, after the Mercury goes retrograde. So just, be aware of all those things. Okay, those are for the first. Cards are coming out pretty easy after I've shuffled for a couple minutes there. Okay, so these are the two cards for June. June 15th through June 30th. And then these are the two cards for July 1st through the 15th. Okay, let's see what's in store for Taurus. And this reading is for Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising. As always, watch your Moon and Rising signs. They will fill in the picture a little bit more. All of these cards may make sense to you. Some of them will, or none of them will. So it just, it depends on what you're vibrating to, your sun sign or your rising. A lot of times people, it's rising, sometimes it's moon. Okay, well, this is interesting for June. We have the Four of Wands and we have the Five of Swords. Two completely different cards, by the way, as you know, if you know the tarot. The Four of Wands is, let me grab my wand, my selenite wand here. The Four of Wands is about celebration and joy and happiness, and enjoying a picnic with someone, or enjoying a company party, doing well at work, celebrating that. You can see that there's celebration, a wreath of happiness and joy and celebration. The wands have sprouts, so there's been some success either at work, which is what it feels like, and it could also be too that you have met someone that you're fond of at your place of business. Now, it could be romantic, or it could be that you're just butting up to someone who is of the like mind to you. But this is a really nice card, and this means that we're all working together. This card, however, does not mean that we're all working together. Let me put it this way. This is like, okay, this is the Five of Swords. I'm drawing a line in the sand. This is how I'm going to do it. If you don't like it, too bad. My way or the highway kind of thing. So this card is facing this scenario here. So that's what's interesting to me. I look at how they face. So he's facing these two that have dropped their swords and said, okay, all right, whatever. We'll do it your way. First and foremost, he's facing them, but it is facing these two as well. Now, it could be that you are drawing boundaries. You're setting boundaries. You're setting boundaries, Taurus. That would be a great thing for you to do. I just sort of felt that intuitively. At work, if you are working too longer hours, more projects, more paperwork, you may need to set those hours or set those boundaries. You may have seen a lot of accomplishment here, and now you're ready to say, okay, but that's, I'll give you this much, but this is I'm drawing the line in the sand. I feel like this is you. It could be someone that's telling you that particular thing, like, you know, it's their way. I'm kind of feeling like it's you, though. You all put in the comments below if it's anybody else. Now, the swords, of course, are our thinking, our thoughts, our concerns. So mentally and both physically, you're saying, that's all. So by the end of June, it'll be really interesting to see how you Taurians are standing up for yourself, basically. And I like that. I like that for you all. Okay, let's see how, I hope you do too. Let's see how the beginning of July looks. Nice. Do you hear that plane in the background? All right, so we have the World card and we have the Justice card. That's very interesting. It falls into the Five of Swords. They're both major arcana cards. And the reason, I'm going to go ahead and go back to this. The reason that's interesting is because I talked about setting those boundaries. And the Justice card, it represents fairness, balance, justice. And so maybe you're meant to do that. Maybe you're meant to say, no, I can't come to see you this weekend, but I can another weekend. And you're really sort of prioritizing your schedule for yourself. And not only yourself, I felt very selfish when I said that, but you know, maybe sometimes we do need to feel a little bit selfish and say, this is the best weekend, or this is the best evening, or, you know, whatever you need to say that feels good to you, because here's a sword here that's pointing up to this one. Do you see this sword? I'll hold the card up. I think you can see it. I'll hold the card up. Here's the sword that's pointing up to this other sword card. And then the scales of balance and justice. You know, the other thing this might be too is if you have any lawsuits going on, legal cases, court cases, attorneys, whatever, this could turn out well for you, especially being beside the World card. This could turn out positive or in your favor. The World card, this is the number 11 of the major arcana, and this is the last one. It's like, you know, we start off with the major arcana and we're young and we have parents, the emperor and the empress, and then we have the teacher, the hierophant, and we have the jobs, and then we go through the ups and downs of life. Let me just put it that way. Then the last card is the World card. It's like we're gaining enlightenment. We're gaining experience. We've gained the knowledge to better understand how to maneuver the best path for our life. And so this feels like for a lot of you it's one or two things. And because you've drawn the line in the sand, now you're starting to see the glory of it, the beauty of it. If it is about a legal case, I do feel like, and it could be both, but I do feel like that, you know, the outcome is you standing up for yourself, saying this is what I want, and getting that. Okay, pretty nice cards. My feeling is for June, you all, that not only for Taurus, but for a lot of signs, June is a better month than I think the last couple months. And I say better, maybe just more of a relief, even though Mars is going into retrograde. You know, don't let that affect you too much. Stay even-keeled, you know, positive. And I want to draw one more. The Emperor card. Well, I just said, you know, I was talking about the Emperor being the archetypal father figure. It could also be someone in spirit, a father, grandfather, uncle, boyfriend, yeah, but they'd have to have been older than you, or a husband. But this is someone who like has a lot of authority. And in spirit they could be helping you along. If they're in the human life, then they are They're giving you great advice, and it might be, again, this attorney thing. So for some of you, this will be the case. For some of you, you're saying, no, I don't have anything legal going on, period. So be it. So then this is a person, sorry, that's my timer. This is a person who is in authority that you'll know who this emperor is. And this would be a male figure who's in authority. That means a lot to you, means a lot to your life, gives you good feedback, that sort of thing. Okay, now Taurus, I'm going to look into my crystal and see what all we see here. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign for June 15th through June 30th. July 30th, excuse me, June 15th through July 15th. Sorry about that. Okay. It's funny, Taurus, because I feel like I've seen this for you all before, so again, let me know if I have or haven't. I'm seeing 3 people. And the 3 people that are pretty close together. How I see them is in lights. They just show up in the crystal as like, oh, then they went to 2. Okay, so when I lean forward, and then almost 4. So sometimes there's 2, sometimes there's 3, and then I feel like this is a pretty close-knit group of people. So this might be a group of friends you have, and I say group, 2 other friends you have, and that you all love to pal around together. This could be family members, but these 3 lights are staying pretty close together. And the interesting thing, on the other side of the crystal, there's 3, and they're larger. So it's like they're mirroring each other. Okay, that's nice. So whatever groups of 3, maybe you all are going on business together, going on a trip together, whoever these 3 people may be. Maybe your family, your husband or a wife and a child. Just saying. It's very sweet. And it's staying in the crystal. As I'm looking for other visuals. Okay, so this is the message I'm getting is some of you may at times feel not, well, yes, I'm going to go ahead and say lonely. And I don't mean that, oh, every day is lonely. I just mean moments. Like you may have an evening, or during the day you may get the feeling of, a feeling of loneliness, like you'd like to see your family in a different state, or your friends. Again, here we go with friends, family. It seems to be something to do with that in the crystal. Then, just know that you will. You're pretty grounded. You will see them. You're a pretty grounded sign. You will definitely see your family. It's just that you kind of long for that joy and that happiness when you're with them. That's all. This is one I've never seen before. Okay, how would I describe this? This is a child. It looks like a little girl. And she's a little bit dressed up. Okay, so some of you might, any of you that have children, grandchildren, nieces. I'm getting a child, a girl, that is, would be very intelligent, loves to be creative, but also dresses neatly, because that's what I'm seeing in the crystal. It's like she's ahead of her time. She's an advanced person. She may be like a rainbow child. You've heard of those, where they, these children are just so smart. They're so ahead of their time. They're born, like they're 30 already. And so I'm seeing a child like that, a rainbow child. So some of you may say, oh yeah, I know one. Oh yeah, I have one. So they're a big influence in your life. Okay, any totem animals? Let's see. You know, I don't always get them, but this does look like a... Oh, a dragonfly. I've gotten that before, but not in this particular visual. Dragonfly. Okay. Interesting. So you may want to Google dragonfly and see how that resonates, or if it does resonate for you, that particular, what would dragonfly be? An insect, I guess. They're beautiful. The wingspan is beautiful. I've seen them, you know, purple, blue, and see how they resonate and connect with you. All right, Taurus, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful month to month. If you'd like your own personal private reading, then look in the Show More section below. There's a link to my order page. You can order a video reading or a phone reading, and I'd love to do that with you. Also, please remember to subscribe. I'm grateful to those of you who have. And also like the video, and any comments are always, always, always welcome. You may want to put who this Emperor person is, this person of authority, and also the Justice, and any of the cards that you really resonate with. I'd love to hear how. Okay, be well, take care, be kind to each other, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.